Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. William Samoei Ruto is looking for help everywhere. He's trying to use external forces to try and coerce Raila Amolo Odinga to call off the demonstrations, or anybody who can broker a truce so that Raila cannot go on with the devastating demonstrations that is really a thorn in the flesh of this government. Yesterday, it was the head of the African Union Commission, Mr. Musa Faki, who released a statement and asked both sides to try and talk so that they can broker a truce, because he noticed that we have loss of lives, economy is really downgraded. Then today, the USA State Department also released a statement urging both sides to exercise a lot of restraint and ensure that there is peace and tranquility. Bishops, in fact, clergy from the Catholic Church also held some meeting with Raila Amolo Odinga. And of course, we have a high-level delegation from the USA that visited Kenya today, and they met Raila Amolo Odinga. Let's just read what Raila is saying in his social media page. A while ago, Raila shared this high-level meeting with these diplomats. This is what he said. I had a great meeting this evening with the U.S. Senator Chris Coons, I hope I pronounced it well, and his delegation to discuss development in our country. We had a fruitful discussion on the importance of upholding the Constitution and the rule of law, and agreed to keep the channels of communication open. That is Raila, and of course you can see photos there with this delegation. There is a delegation that was just dispatched to come and assess the situation in Kenya, because the whole world is now watching. Let's just continue. Then another meeting, Raila says, we engaged in dialogue with the Kenyan Conference of Catholic Bishops regarding the current political situation in the country. We've pledged to maintain our engagement with the KCCB and other faith communications as we work towards ensuring that Kenya is back on the right track. And of course there are pictures there, and Raila agreed to meet the Catholic bishops because they are the only party that seems to have not taken any sides. They don't belong to the what we have now given the name M-Pesa bishops. They have not been compromised by this administration, and that is the reason why I think Raila meet them. And of course you can see there's a new fraternity there. But then there was some fears that Raila would be compelled and cajoled to call off these demonstrations, and Kenyans were waiting with bated breath. But Raila seems to be playing hardball, because there is something that he posted immediately after meeting these delegations, and it is something that is showing his resolve and resolute to ensure that he continues with these demonstrations.
Hawa ni waoga, tutarudi tena.
From where William Samoei Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua is, they are a worried lot, because Raila Amolo Odinga had accused the international community of keeping quiet when Ruto is using excessive force on people who are only demonstrating peacefully, and it forced the diplomats. In fact, this is why the US State Department decided to release a statement. I remember they warned Raila to stop intimidating diplomats who are in Kenya, because Raila had told them that they are and they were quiet when Uhuru's farm was being touched, and they were quiet when Winnie Odinga's car was smashed, and you saw how police used what looked like a bomb or a detonator on Winnie when they arrested her driver, and how they are using water cannons and tear gas on Raila's convoy. So they decided to speak for the sake of speaking. They cannot take any stand because they want to appear as a neutral arbiter. So they told Raila Amolo Odinga to stop, intimidating diplomats, but they also want William Samoei Ruto to stop the use of excessive force. The international community have always manifested themselves as a group that stands for democracy and human rights. So from where William Samoei Ruto is, it's very difficult for him, because Raila made it very clear, even to the international community, that he's not going to stop. He has always maintained that William Ruto's presidency is illegitimate, and is saying that William Ruto must vacate office. Even though in their statements, US and both the USA, the international community, diplomats, and even the African Union is standing firm with the Ruto government, and they're saying that we had our elections, the election cycle went through, and the IBC declared William Ruto as the president. Then it went to the Supreme Court, and they also affirmed that ruling. So they stand with the William Samoei Ruto. But even as they do that, Raila is really giving Ruto a lot of headache, because Raila is acting within the law, and so there is nothing the international community can do. It is entrenched in our constitution that when people are dissatisfied about a certain matter or with the government, they can go and demonstrate peacefully. So William Ruto doesn't know how to handle this situation. He's sending people, but at the same time, he's chest thumping that he cannot talk to Raila Amolo Odinga. Rigathi Gachagua has maintained that Raila Amolo Odinga is conducting these mandamanos or the demonstrations so that they can twist the government to sit down with them for a handshake discussion. But Raila has refuted those claims, and he is saying that he is not interested in anything to do with the handshake. And so on his side, William Ruto doesn't know what to do. It seems like the last bullet has been used, because when he was away, the goons that they had organized went and torched a church, they torched a mosque, they invaded Uhuru's farm, and even this has left the Kenya Kwanza team divided. There are those who feel that this is too much. In fact, you saw Kithure Kindiki condemning all this. He doesn't believe that we could be organizing to invade private property. Remember, Kithure Kindiki is a lawyer. But on the other side, there are people who believe that they want to attack Uhuru's farms so that they can intimidate him, because they believe that Uhuru Kenyatta is the one who is sponsoring the Azimio campaigns. They continue to lose 2 billion Kenya shillings every day. Even the experts say that this figure could be more than 2 billion. The international media has also come out to expose everything that is happening: police brutality, the use of excessive force. In fact, the aftermath of the last demonstrations only left a rotten egg in the face of Rigathi Gachagua. There were policemen who were drunk, who were sent to work very drunk, falling down at work, and so they don't know what to do. The people who are going for these demonstrations are as determined as never before, because they are saying they feel the pangs of hunger and they want the cost of living to come down. There are those who believe that electoral justice must be done, and from all the quarters, there can never be peace without justice. So William Ruto continues to issue warnings and cautions, but it seems the last bullet has been consumed, because if Raila has maintained even to the international community that he's not going to sit down, he's going to continue with the demonstrations twice a week, what is Ruto going to do, ladies and gentlemen? In the past, we knew that Raila would be intimidated or persuaded very easily to stop the course for which he's been pursuing. But on this time round, Raila seems to be very determined, and one wonders, what is the end game of this? If you are in Ruto's shoes, what would you do? Because this pride is not going to help Rigathi Gachagua. As they talk tough, they lose a lot. they lose a lot. Raila has always, deluded them that is going to the CBD, and then their concentration is in the CBD. While they are doing that, they help Raila cordon CBD so that people don't go to the CBD, people don't open their businesses. Then Raila having, getting satisfied that CBD is now locked, Raila now goes to the streets, he walks around, as the police engages in running battles, and by the end of the day, police is very happy that Raila never gained entry into the CBD. But Raila knows very well that the end game here is to make sure that Ruto is crippled economically. And very soon you'll realize that very many quarters are crying out that they have not been paid. The ripple effect is reaching as far as the Uganda, because the Busia border, whenever there are demonstrations, we have large trucks of trailers waiting because no business can be conducted. The same thing is happening in Namanga. So ladies and gentlemen, it seems as Raila has refused this delegation. They are trying to talk him down to call off the demonstrations, but he has refused. I don't know what William Ruto is going to do, but it's really, really painful to them. Maybe someone must blink first. Maybe they will talk for the sake of our nation. But Raila says server must be opened. And you see, very many questions are being asked. If William Ruto knows very well that he won the August polls, why can't he just open the server? Why is he afraid? Why can't he just sit down and tell the people of Kenya, these are the challenges I'm facing as far as bringing the cost of living down is concerned? Why can't he just accept so that they have a neutral body that appoints those who want to interview the IEBC personnel? It's very easy. And why can't they just stop telling us that Kenya Kwanza is a company and those who voted have got shares? You see, these are very simple things that he can do. But pride comes before a fall. So the D-Day is waiting. We also wait to see what is happening, and we'll continue updating as they come. And that is my take.